goes like this. One that April, with his sure sota, the dracht of March had passed to the rota, and bad at every vine and switch liqueur, of which virtue engendered is the floor. One Zephyrus eke with his sweet of breath, in spirit had in every halt of head, the tender cropus and the younger son had in the ram his halva corsira, and smaller fowls, mackin melody, that slept all the night with open knee. So pricked him the tour in her courages, then longen folk to go on pilgrimages. Here beginneth the book of the Tales of Canterbury. And there begins my book, or my poem. So this is called So Pricked Him the Tour. This is called So Pricked Him the Tour in her courages, which obviously just means nature just inspires them to do their thing, really. The big joke of the opening of the Canterbury Tales is that it gets down to pilgrimages, and that's the joke, because up to then is what Shakespeare would call foison, plenty, summer crossed with summer is a coming in, loudly sing cuckoo. It's about the birds and the bees, the flowers and the trees, and the thing called love. That's what they're going on. So when it gets down to pilgrimages, that's the last thing you expect. So up to then, it's all been about sex and the animal, the human world, and that's the great first opening joke of the Canterbury Tales. So this is called So Pricked Him the Tour in her courages. Never did help my da enough, always head stuck in the book. Donald, son, he'd call, can you hold this while I saw? Oh, da, I'd wail, me lost in Chaucer and his tale. And so the saw saws, and all I see is, yo, the miller was a chap of 16 stone, a great stout fellow, big and brawn and bone. The saw cuts through the afternoon, pauses then, Chaucer's on again. He did well out of them, for he could go and win the ram at any wrestling show. Say what? Oh, don't get me wrong. I adored the aesthetic beauty of sawdust floating in a universe of its own, suspended in sunlight and shadow. The smell of pine kidnapping my mind. The green dance of the bubble in a spirit level. Didn't have time for all that hammering and sawing. I was a boy on a mission, ever since our teacher sighing, oh, I don't know why I teach you scruff, Chaucer. You'll never read the book. But by the weekend, furious at the rebuff, I had. My poor old da only getting begrudging help. When that April, the words falling like gentle rain upon my mind, with his surest sota, the dracht of March, words, oh sweet words, had passed to the rota. My mind batheth every vine in switch liqueur, the bubble in the spirit level, poised perfectly poised, of which virtue engendered is the floor. Thank you. I wrote that for my dad when he went home, and my brother looked after my dad. The only way my dad got to 95 was that my brother looked after him meticulously, immaculately, magnificently, from his eyelids to his dry lips to his toenails, everything. I am an excellent carer, simply because I looked after everybody as if they were my dad. My brother looked after my dad, so he easily surpassed me. But one night when we were nursing him, and he had we thought he had a cold on his chest, but it turns out to be pancreatic cancer, and he dies within a week. And I hear him coughing, and he's awake, and I go into him, and this is what this poem's about. It's called Wild Waves Crashing About the Old Head of Kinsale. I scramble into your bed like I do when I was 2 or 4 or more. Rub your back for you, my 94-year-old child, until sleep gathers you in. Just like you did for me when I was your little boy. I listen to you as slowly your dreams capture you. I love your each and every breath. And when you wake 2 hours later, there I am, still rubbing your back. You smile and tell me your mother would do the same when you were a tiny boy. Waves crashing about the old head of Kinsale. So here we all are, the back rubbers of the ages, all in the one place, sharing different times, comforting, soothing, easing all the pain. Waves crashing sale. Thank you. The last time I was here, my dad was a Cork man, and counties in Cork are very distinct. Anybody know what a Cork accent sounds like? It's very high pitched like that. It's like a cross between fast fluent Welsh and French. And it goes up and down like that very quick altogether. And it's very hard for people to understand. It goes up, hey, bye, hello, Michael, up and down like that. And we used to go down to our aunties and go, what? And they say, I don't want to go to the loo. And we'd go, no, because we didn't quite catch that. And we'd wet ourselves. You want, hey, you want cake? And we go, no. And then we wouldn't get any cake. We go, oh, what's happening? Nobody understands us. So if I was to sing a song for my dad, it would have to be The Banks of My Own Lovely Lee. But I don't know all of that. So he lived all his life in the Curragh, 41 years in the army. And there's a very famous song called The Curragh of Kildare. It's actually a Robbie Burns poem called The Winter It Is Past. Very long poem. And in 1963, I think, Christy Moore and Donald Lunny out of Planksty went into Newbridge Library, which is just about 3 miles from me, found the Burns poem and thought, wow, that's a cute poem. And they siphoned it down to what became the Curragh of Kildare. And the poem is about a lassie who misses her soldier boy. He's in the Curragh. Curragh's a big military camp since time immortal. And she dresses up as a soldier and goes in search of her lover boy. And she puts on a livery I'll wear, and I'll pin back my hair. And in a coat of green I will appear, and it's straight I will repair to the Curragh of Kildare. For it's there I'll find tidings of my dear. So that's how it goes. I'll leave that bit out. I just like the romantic, sad, missing bit. So this is for my dad. If you can join in the chorus, and we'll sing him to rest. So it goes like this. Oh, the winter it is past, and the summer's come at last, and the small birds are singing in the trees. Ah, their little hearts are glad, ah, but mine is very sad, for my true love is far away from me. And it's straight I will repair to the Curragh of Kildare, for it's there I'll find tidings of my dear. The rose upon the briar, by the waters running clear, brings joy to the linnet and the bee. Ah, their little hearts are blessed, ah, but mine can know no rest, for my true love is absent from me. And it's straight I will repair to the Curragh of Kildare, for it's there I'll find tidings of my dear. O ye who are in love, aye, and cannot it remove, oh, I pity the pain you must endure, for experience lets me know that your hearts are full of woe, and the woe that no mortal can cure. And it's straight I will repair to the Curragh of Kildare, for it's there I'll find tidings of my dear. For it's there I'll find tidings of my dear. Thank you. I was a highly dyslexic little kid. I'm just a highly toxic adult now. And I was highly dyslexic back in the day. And but I had the greatest antidote. I had my dad. And my dad told me stories. He didn't read poems to me. He recited poems to me. He sung songs to me. He hummed music. He did-da-da-da things. And this is what this is about. He was also a carpenter, a cobbler. He turned his hand to anything. We all, us 10 kids, had about 10 bikes each, because my dad would go down to the dump and find a wheel. A month later, he'd find another wheel, and a crossbar, and he'd put bikes together. So we all had bikes, and one of the lovely things I remember was a last. Do you know what a last is? That little three-legged metal thing. You put the shoe in it, and you go, and you tap it together like that. So this is my dad teaching me things, and some poems, the first way I heard them was not on paper, it wasn't text. The only text was my dad's breath, or my dad humming to me, or dee-da-da. And I say to him, oh God, Dad, that's what's gorgeous, what is it? And he said, I don't know. And then it would turn out to be some piece of opera that he heard, and I'd only find that out 40 years later. So, though your heart is aching, My father is mending my soul, slaps it on the last, and with tacks between lips begins humming Chaplin's theme from Limelight. Da 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 dee da da. Even the sunlight pauses to listen. The rhythm of the tacks is only accompaniment as he da 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 does, and the music enters my soul. Now in his dying, far from that sunny time, I hum it back to him in my mind. Da 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 da. I tell him, and the music soars, and we are enclosed once again in that one perfect moment where not even death can enter. Thank you.